Now let's go talk about beer. Okay, today we're going to talk about beer, and we're specifically going to talk about one of my favorite beers, which is Coors Original. Cheers. What I think sets this beer apart from a lot of beers, it's got 3 nicknames. Number 1, Colorado Kool-Aid. 2, Yellowbellies. And it's also, some people call it the Banquet Beer. And it was featured in the movie Smoky and the Bandit, which is a mind-blowing acting performance by Jackie Gleeson, if you ever get to see that. They used to have to smuggle this beer into Texas. And when I got to college, I'd go to bars and I'd try to find it, because I used to drink it back home, and they never have it. They always have Coors Light, which is not like Coors Original. And it's also a Pilsner, which is the Czech way of brewing beer, like Pilsner, Urquell, and Velkopopovický, Kozel, another beer I like a lot from the Czech Republic. And the Czechs know a thing or two about beer. So it's like Frank Zappa said, if you don't have an airline and a beer, you're not an official country. So, for example, I don't think Iran has a beer. I'm not trying to hate on Iran or anything, but they need to get a beer over there and loosen things up a little bit.
And you were also saying if a bar doesn't carry Coors Original, it's not a real bar.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
There's a couple ways I'll test bars. When I go in there and I order a Coors Original and they don't have it, it's like, what? I was in Houston. I went to this bar called Hund has showed up, as we can see. Hund, do you want some beer? Actually, he would probably drink it. Anyway, I was at this beer in Houston called this bar in Houston called Petrol. And it was one of those kind of hipster bars, you know, where they have all like blueberry oatmeal grain stout and basil pumpkin stout and all that kind of stuff. And I ordered a Coors Original. I'm like, oh, we don't have Coors Original. And I said, well, that should be mandatory. And one of the hipsters that was there with his beard and his glasses and his jacket with the pads on the elbows scoffed and looked at me like I was some kind of caveman for ordering Coors. It was awesome. One of my most cherished moments in the last couple of years.
And you say Allan Holdsworth.
Allan loves Coors Original, yeah, and he knows a thing or two about beer. So I think that we're on the right track with this thing with it. And when I go into a bar, that's what I'll do. I'll order Coors Original. If they don't have it, I don't generally patronize the place. Even here in Denton, where I live, Dan's Bar has Coors Original. Ha! So does Danni Rae's, the great Cajun restaurant that's here in town. They've got it on tap. And Rockin Rodeo. Lloyd Banks is hip enough to have Coors Original, because we have a mutual friend who has to have it on the menu. So that's what I wanted to say about my favorite beer.
Yeah, and speaking of venues, we have a show coming up.
Oh, that's right. We're playing in Austin on October the 9th at the Beale Street Tavern. It's a Tuesday night. It's going to be an early show, so come out. And I'll buy anybody that comes a Coors Original or whatever. If they don't have it, we'll stoop down and get something else. But if you come out to that show, I'll buy you a beer. All right, then.
Cheers.